Hello, good afternoon. This class is a database programming using an MS Access application program. So, an MS Access application program is part of the MS Access Office. You can access the MS Access through your computer. It is already installed in your computer. Okay, so this class starts at 2:50 p.m. and it will end at 4:40 p.m. from Monday to Fridays. So we started the class from June 13th and we are going to end the class on July 13th. So there are two major exams in this class, which is midterm exam and the other is a final exams. So I understand that all of you, the three of you, are working students. So I am recording this lecture video for you to be able to understand what the class content all about, especially the some of the times that you cannot attend the class. So I would like to explain the four major objects using the MS Access database. Okay, so let's get started. So in this lesson, you are going to learn about identifying the basic data structure. You will also be working with the Microsoft Access database. Make sure that you have your computer ready with you and you will be able to practice it at home, making a database related to the courses that you have taken during the semester. So the third one is while you are taking this class, you will be also taught on how to identify components of access. You will also be taught on how to navigate the access record sets. You will also learn how to modify a datasheet's appearance, save and print record set, and also manage access files. So learning to make a database is very important, especially that you are all taking up real estate management. So you will be dealing lots of clients in the future or maybe now that you are working in the same field. So this is very important for you to know how to make a database for a large collection of data. So as we all know, databases are part of everyday business. So in this class, the database which will you will work involves hands-on application. So which means that you will have to use your computer in order for you to be able to practice on how to make four major objects. So this database programming is you will be dealing with or you will be learning on how to build or create a table. A table. Next is a query. Um, form, and then report. So these are four major objects that you are going to learn in this class. So uh, um, may I repeat, databases are part of everyday business. So we all learn that when we are dealing with the files, in the past we use file folders to put the record of each individual, especially the students in the school. But if there is a large number of data, it is better to use a computerized databases than to have this manual collection of data placed in an individual folder. So in this class, the database with which you will work involves um, hands-on practice using your computer and the installed application program, which is a Microsoft Access. Okay, so I will explain the database usage and the development as if you were into that work, okay, employed in the company. Okay, so um, you are some other companies, the large companies are using several databases to take care of its business needs. For example, the payroll, the shipping, the billing, Just like in a school in St. Columban College, the St. Columban College is dealing with a large collection of data. These data are these are the records of the students, the records of the employees, and for example, in the library, the records of the books. Okay, the type of book that is being stored in the library, and as for the national ID system, um, they are gathering informations about the information of each individual citizen, and in also in a hospital. If you are a registered nurse, if you are working in a hospital, you will be dealing with the records of the patients, the records of the medicines that you have administered to each patient. And in case in your field you are in the real estate management, you are going to be dealing with the records of your clients as to the name of the property owner, um, the location of the property, uh, the number of square meter that you sold to the buyer, and such information like these are needed in making the database. So um, I am giving you the idea on how this database is being formed. Okay, so you're somewhat familiar with the database um, that each of these company is dealing with. Okay, so you probably already know that your school, like for example, St. Clement College, uses databases to keep track of what courses you have taken, where you live when you graduate, how to best contact you, and other important academic information. Because I believe in St. Clement College has, I think, more than 4,000 students. Okay, so these individual information of the student or record of the student cannot just only be done manually. That's why they use a database to store a large collection of data, which is being sorted maybe alphabetically um, or being stored organized or in a systematic way. Okay, and okay, just as you have learned to use your school databases through your daily interactions, you will learn also on how to make your own database related to the courses that you have taken, or the courses that you have done, the courses that you already obtained in the past before you're taking the real estate management. So, okay, so as you know, a database is a logically organized collection of data. So we will be opening a Microsoft Access, which is already installed in your computer, so that you will learn on how to start a database and how to create a table that will contain a record of each individual with the entries or informations of each individual. The next one is we are going to learn how to build a query and then form and then report. So as you all know, in the past, during the Stone Age, people used to write in the stone. Okay, that's how they relay the messages, or that's how they keep the information being retrievable or used in the future. So, because of the advent of the technology, the improvement of technology, the advancement of technology, Gingawas na ang ato mga computerized databases, nag-create ng databases na di na kinahanglan og manual na siya. So as you all know, a database is a logically organized collection of data. The most common type of database in use today is relational. Relational is similar to Excel. Okay, so as you know in Excel, makita ninyo na ay columns and rows. The columns are the field names, and then this contains columns and also rows. I will explain that one in the PowerPoint slide later. So other types of databases include flat, hierarchical, uh, network, and dimensional. So what we are using these days is relational. So if you are familiar with spreadsheets such as Microsoft Excel, you have an understanding of a flat database. Excel has incorporated many simple database commands to be used in simple database structures. Microsoft Access creates a relational database that is much more complex than Excel spreadsheets. Okay, so we will start with opening up a Microsoft Access application program. And if you have your computer with you, you can also practice. You can also practice by looking at the screen and how this is going to be done. Okay, so on your desktop, you can see this icon here on the left side. You you place your pointer, okay, your mouse on this icon here, and then you click this one. You find the access. So you can see the access on the screen. You can see the screen. So you can find the access on screen. So it displays here. We have the access, the home, the new, the open account, feedback, and options. So there are options in here, so you can create a blank database. You will have the access tracking, contact, students, event managements. Right down below is the list of the file names, or if you have already created databases in Access, it will display all of here. But since you have not created yet a database, so we will create a new one. So we will start clicking blank database. So when you click the blank database, it displays the blank database in here. It asks you to write a file name. So you can write your file name in here. So it depends on what is going to be the database all about. Now let's say for example, you are going to make a table. We're going to make a database about the notice of assessment. Notice of assessment. Suppose you are working in an office of the city assessor, just like what one of the students enrolled in this class, that she is the head office in charge or head in the assessor's office. So he is dealing with the tax assessment, okay, the property assessment. So you will, because all of you, the three of you, are taking up taking up real estate management. So we will focus only on the property, the property information, the real estate property information. So in the file name in here, you can write here, depending on the database that you are going to make. For example, in your what's her name? Celso is his undergraduate is Bachelor of Management, Bachelor of Administration in Management, BSB, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. So he can be working in the bank. He can also be running his own business, and like just like a supermarket or convenience store or whatever businesses that he would like to put up into. Or but now he is now into a real estate management, like a company who is into selling real estate properties. And also Magdalena is an office in charge in a local government in Tupuran. She is in the assessor's office, so she is definitely dealing with the property assessment and evaluation. So and also uh, the other student in Cebu, she is a registered nurse. She can also be making she also can make a database related to the records of the patient. So suppose she is working, because she is a registered nurse, she might be definitely be working in a hospital where she is going to deal or assist the doctors in dealing with the patients. So as you know, in the hospital access different kinds of patients with different health problems. Okay, so she might be making a database related to the patient's record, um, the medicines administered, and the date of confinement, uh, so such as like that, so on and so forth. Okay, so once you're done with the file name, making a file name, so we are going to, let's say for example, real estate. Okay, so real estate, uh, property records. Okay, records. So we make a file name, real estate property records, because we are specifically learning on how to make a database for the real estate property. Okay, so just click the create. Once you click that one, you are directed into this window. So the window in here allows you to make your database. This is a database structure. Okay, so it doesn't have an entry yet because you have not created you have not created a database yet. So to start with this to start with this Microsoft Access application program, you have to learn what are the functions of this. So these are the menus. At the top we have file, home, create, external, data, database tools, help, and tell me what you want to do. And these are the ribbons. This contains the tools and commands that you will help you to perform the specific task that is being required to you. Okay, so under the file, it has these sub menus in here. um the this home, it contains a home, new, open, info, save as, print, close, and blah blah blah. Okay, so next to that is the home. The home contains these commands in here. We have the view. So the view contains a datasheet view and design view. So if you're going to make a new database and edit the database, you have to click the design view. So this is the tab that you're going to click on when you are going to edit something on your database. So we have the create. So the create in here allows you, it contains commands. It allows you to create four major objects such as a table. We have the query, form, and report. So there are different designs that you can create using these ribbons in here or the command tools in here. So in the table, there is already the Microsoft Access application program already provided a table which is ready for you to work on. But if you really want to make your own table, you can also click on the table design. So this is command that you can make your own table. The next one is we have the query, because as I have told you, we are going to be dealing with four major objects. For the four major objects, we have the table. This is what you are going to click on, the table. This table here is already provided by the Microsoft Access. So meaning that the design is already made by the Microsoft Access. But if you're going to make your own table, you can't use the table design in here. Okay, so the next one is query. So for the query also, the Microsoft Access has already provided a query wizard design. So it has already a layout also, and you can also work on with that if you like to have it ready for you to work on. But if you really want to create your own query design, you can also click on the query design, which will um, take time to create too. Okay, so the same with the form. Okay, so the Microsoft Access program also has already provided a form that you this form here, you can edit that one. But if you really want to, if you really like to make your own form design, make it more appealing and attractive, um, uh, use a design that you have in your mind, you can also click the form design. We also have the blank form in here. It has different designs that you can work on. Work form wizard. Okay, so the same with the report design. So the next is we have the external data here. So these are the outside sources that you can transport into the Microsoft Access program. So these are the database tools, the database tools if you are going to work on a program, because in Microsoft Access you can also put some additional functions on your design, on your form, particularly in your form, using this programming code. There is a programming editor in this Microsoft application program that is called a Visual Basic. So you can use the Visual Basic, but it is going to be taught later part or before the end of the semester, because we will have to focus on creating and building the four major objects first. Okay, so you will also be learning about the relationships and how these are going to be done. So the next one is the help. Okay, the table fields. So the table fields, if you want to display some date and time in your form, in your objects, you can also click on the date and time, yes or no, and other fields that you want to display in your uh, objects. Okay, so we have the tables. So the tables in here allow you to make some changes in your objects. So now let's go back to file. Okay, let's go back to the main menu. So click on the home. Now let us start. So Microsoft Access creates relational databases that are much more complex than Excel spreadsheets. The Excel contains the rows and the columns. So the rows and columns, you can also extend or expand the length and the size of each column and rows. But in using a Microsoft Access, it is more complicated and much more difficult. It's more difficult than the Excel one. Okay, so this is we are going to identify the basic data structure. So this is a data structure. This is a table. It has here. It doesn't have a file name yet. When you open the Microsoft Access, it contains table one, which means that you are directed into this table when doing here. So this is now ready for you to work on your data. Okay, so first thing that you have to do is to create a file name for the table information that you are going to work on. So let's identify the basic data structure first. So Microsoft Access follows the relational model for its design. So as I have told you, the relational database design contains the rows and the columns. So Access databases are organized by major objects. Okay, so let me open up the PowerPoint slide so that you'll be able to see what it looks like. So our learning goals and outcomes for this class is we will have to examine the database concepts and explore the Microsoft Office Access environment. So we design a simple to complex database and build a new database with related tables. So as part of this lecture or so, uh, we will be tackling about the database and its history. But because of the duration of time, which is only we have a limited time, so if we cannot tackle this up, I will have to um, explain the application, which is much more important. And then We'll be learning the database keys, conceptualization, ERD annotation, and so this is a form. So this form contains records, okay, and records or information of individuals. So we will be learning. We will go to that. We will be learning that also. Okay, so now. Um, Okay, so I have told you Microsoft Access follows the relational model for its design. So Access databases are organized by major objects. Major objects are table, we have the query, a form, and report. In a relational database, all data are stored in tables. So look at this. Okay, so are stored in tables. A table is the major database object that stores all data in subject-based list of rows and columns. So the rows, these are the space. These are this table contains the horizontal and vertical, just like Microsoft Excel. So this is a table. A table is a major database object that stores all data in a subject-based list of rows and columns. So the columns are these. These are the columns here, and then the uh, rows are this one. Okay. So as you can see this, a database table can look similar to a table displayed in a spreadsheet program, or it can appear different. So this part here is the navigation. This one is your control panel here that will contain the four major objects. Order your file names, the table, the form, the query, and the report. Okay, so tables are made up of records and fields. Okay, tables are made up of records and fields. So let's say, for example, we will create, uh, you see this one? So let's say, for example, we will create a new file. So let us say this one, let's have a design view. Okay, so let's name this table name is, um, let's say, notice of assessment. Okay, so let's say, suppose you are working, let's start with T. T stands for table. So we will take the first letter of the first major object, which is table. So T stands for table. So we will be able to identify or determine what kind of object or what type of object you are working on. So T for the file name, and then let's name this file as T notice of assessment. So we are going to work on the first. We are going to work on what is. We are going to work on the real estate assessment, real property assessment, which is most of you, which is all of you are dealing with. Um, like Magdalena is working in the assessor's office, so this is part of his work. So notice of assessment. Suppose you're working in assessor's office, you will be uh, you will be dealing with a real properties information. So the real properties information, depending on which assessor's office you are assigned in, but the information that you are going to deal with, these are consistent to what is being designed and implemented in the office of the assessor. Okay, so if you're working in the assessor's office, you will be dealing with this information like real property informations, like tax declaration number, property owner's name. Okay, so property's owner's name, location, age, address, civil status. So you have to get this information in order for that to be put on record for your database. So let's start with the property name, of honor. Okay, so let's make a file name first. This is a notice of assessment. Let us say, for example, uh, tuku as let's say tukuran assessor's office. Okay, so oops, assessor's office. Yeah. Okay, so you are now in a database structure in here. So now, as I told you, a database table can look similar to a table displayed in a spreadsheet program or Excel, or it can appear different. It is similar because it contains columns and rows, but the physical appearance of that, as you can see in the screen, is quite different because in Excel it's the plain columns and rows, but here in the Microsoft Access application program, it has this information here below that it has here general lookup field size and other commands that you can click on. Okay, so tables are made up of records and fields. So records and fields. So we have the field names in here, and then we will also identify what kind of data type does that field name is. Okay, so the record, for example, record of tampulan or record of, suppose you are working in you are in a school. Okay, so you're very familiar with the database in school. So the school is dealing with different names of students, different courses, different informations as to when they are enrolled, what kind of what courses they are taking in for the whole semester, or for the whole 4-year course, and then the the classes they're taking in, the subjects, and then other information such as their address, their contact details, how they can be contacted to, and then their grades also. That is also part of the information that you will have to put on your database record. Okay, so the record contains different names of individuals. So if you are if it is a school, it deals with different names of students or maybe different names of employees. So if you are working in the assessor's office, you are dealing with the record of each of the property owner whose properties are being assessed. Okay, so if you are working in a hospital, just like one of your classmates, so is in Cebu, she is a registered nurse, so she will be a database can contain different records of patients. So one record, for example, one record of Tampulano's record has an information about his full name. The full name can contain the first name, the middle name, and the last name. It can also contain her age, the birthplace, the birth date, such other information. Many information that is being related to her identity. Okay, so now we already have created a file name, which is T stands for table, and then we have the notice of assessment, and then this one is all about the work of one of your classmates, who is assigned in Tupuran Assessor's Office. So she is now dealing with the real estate, real properties or real property information. So this is just only an example. Okay, so as I have said, the tables, this is a table structure in here. So it's now ready to put your field name, and then it's also ready um, to be given the data type according to the field name that you are going to put in your database. So tables are made up of records and fields. So as you can see here, okay, so tables are let's say, let's see this one. Okay, so a table is a major database object that stores all data in a subject-based list of rows and columns. Just like in Excel, just like in spreadsheets, it contains columns. So this one, the standing one, these are columns, and kaning naghigda mao ni siya ang rows. So makita ninyo kada row diha contains different kinds different records, okay, different records of individuals. So it so happened that there is one but yeah, it has different information in here. So a record is a complete set of data about an entity or activity. A record is displayed in a row. So the row here, so as you can see on the screen, the row here is kanang pahigda. A record is a complete set of data about an entity or activity. A record, for example, record of the student. There's a record of Asnef, a record of blah blah blah, Duterte, record of Bongbong Marcos, record of blah blah blah. So each of the record contains different informations. For example, unsay patanaw ko sa record ni Bongbong Marcos. Sa Bongbong Marcos, his name, it contains his full name. Full names, ang first name niya is Ferdinand Marcos, ang iyang middle name is blah blah blah, ang iyang last name blah blah blah. Kano sa siya natawo, kano sa siya birthplace, birth date, okay, age, unsay nahuman niya, eskwelahan, asa siya nahuman nga eskwelahan, kay unsa may iyahang mga kuan niya, mga records niya, other informations nga related sa iya ha. So another field, another row na pod, lahi na pod siya nga record na pod ni Duterte, nga na siya. So take a look at the table below. So a table is a major database object that stores all data in a subject-based list of rows and columns. Okay, so records are composed of related fields. So, kaning records are composed of related fields. As you can see, na mga related fields. Fields ani na pila ka columns ni na siya 1, 2, 3 fields. These are related fields. A field is the smallest storage element that contains individual data element within a record. Okay, so a field is displayed in a column in a table. So we will go to that later after I explain this one, how the data entry mode or the field is given to be with is going to be filled up with entries. Okay, so a field is displayed as a column in the table. A group, so you have to take it, you have to bear it in your mind. Then when we talk about record are displayed in rows, kaning tahigda, ug ang field are displayed in columns. So kaning patindog mo na ang fields niya. So, in a database, the files are called the records, and the individual elements in a record, for example, name, phone number, date of birth, are called fields. Okay, now let's take for example. So, I made my own design. I made my own design of a database structure, and I collated that one and put this in this PowerPoint presentation here. So let's say, for example, so we are dealing with fields and records. So kaning records ako, the record ni share do as a net, the record is shared as a net. So what are the fields in that record? Ang records gani is displayed in rows. So kanang pahigda mo na record. As may record ni di share do as net. So may kag fields, kaning fields the last name, first name, kaning address, kaning telephone number. So these are the fields and the records is pahinda. Okay, so let's we have the data hierarchy here, fields, records, tables, and then once you have the fields, you have the records, and you created a table. Once your tables are completely filled out with the entries, it is now going to be called as database. So that is it. Okay, now okay, so let's go back to access in here. So okay, so a record is displayed as a row on a table. Example of records include your full name. That includes also your first name, the middle name, the last name, and then your age, your birthplace, your birth date, your place of address, your civil status, whether you're single, married, or annulled, or and your vaccination status, also your spouse's name if you are married, and then your contact number. Your contact numbers can be identified into a mobile number or telephone number or email. Okay, so how people contact you in case of some important matters that you have to attend to, and then it contains also your criminal records if you have to, and so many information that is going to be put on your record. Okay, and um, records also are composed of related fields. A field is the smallest storage element that contains an individual data element within a record. So these are the fields. As I have told you, the fields are displayed in columns. Okay. So now a field is displayed as a column in a table. A group of related fields make up a record. So if you have the full name, if you have the date of birth, birthplace, place of address, contact details, other informations like civil status, this will make up your record. So record contains many other small elements of fields. Okay, so although all data are stored in tables, often you use other objects to locate, organize, and modify record sets. So our record set is a Microsoft object-oriented data structure consisting of group records. So a record set can be as small as single field as a larger two more combined tables. Okay, so now, so I told you before in the beginning of the class is we are going in this Microsoft Access application program. We are going to be dealing with the four major objects. So the four major objects are displayed here in the navigation pane. So as you can see, this is the control panel, okay, so which displays the four major objects. This is where you can click on the file or on the four major objects that each you are going to work on. Okay, so we are now working on a table. So we have not started the query yet. We also have not started the form yet, and have not started the report yet. We're going to make that later on. But I would like to explain to you how the table is going to be made. The first thing I did was to teach you on how to make a table. Okay. Now, before making a table is we are going to learn about what are the four major objects in Microsoft Access. So the four major objects in an Access database include the following. We have the tables, which is being displayed on the screen now. This is the table that we are facing on that you are looking at the screen on my screen. So these tables store data about people. So people bisag kinsa nga tawo. So naa ka sa real estate management, real estate REM company, you are dealing with different records of your clients. Kung kinsa to inyong nahalinan, nakapalit, nahalin nga property owner, kinsay nakapalit, kinsay location, ano mo na siya. So tables are stable store data about people, activities, items, and events. Okay. So a table consists of records made up of fields. The information in a table appears in rows. Okay, so makita nimo ng pahigda-pahigda mo na siyang rows or records and columns in fields. So kung papindog mo niya siyang fields, similar to an Excel worksheet. So an Excel worksheet lang, you can also format the cells, especially when it is dealing with computation. Okay, so the next one is we will be learning about the queries. One of the four major objects is query. So the query display and organize data depending on the question being queried. So you can specify criteria or conditions to show records and fields from one or more tables. You can also create queries to perform actions. So in order for you to create that, you can click on the side in here and this create menu in here. So the ribbons are being displayed in here with the with the tools, with the command tools that you can work on. So if you're going to work on a query, there is a query that is already being provided by the Microsoft Access. But if you are going to work on your own design of query, you can click on the query design. Okay, so you can specify. Let's go back now. Okay, so you can specify the criteria or conditions to show records and fields from one or more tables. You can also create queries to perform actions. So we will be learning on how to make a query later, but we will have to start with the table first. Okay, so the next object is a form. Okay, so form diri gihapon siya magawas no. Forms displays data on screen in user-friendly formats. Okay, forms make data entry and editing simpler. So this is the most exciting part of these four major objects because I like making my own form from creating a receipt and then the design, the layout, and then these additional functions that would make a form very appealing on the screen. Okay, so with a form you can view, you can add, you can edit fields and record in a table. So after the form is being created, you can also mm, make a report. So in creating a report, there is already a report that is being provided, a report design or a layout provided by the Microsoft Access, as you can see this one here. But if you don't like the design or the output of your report design, you can also make your own report design in here. Or there is a blank report, or report wizard, where which allows you to choose the different designs or the design that you want to uh, display on your screen. So the reports organize and format data to be used as printable documents. Okay, reports are professional looking formal documents that displays information usually derived from database queries. Okay, now so a record set. Before we start, I would like to explain a little bit. So a record set is the most often displayed as either a form or a report. A form is a major database object used to display information in attractive, easy to read screen format. So I would like you to look at how the form, let's say for example, I created in my last some in the previous semester that I was handling a database programming, database management system. I created a form, so I will show you how the form is being created. So in here, this is the form that I created in here. Okay, so it displays the time. It has a computation. This is all about the rental property that I created a database with. So it has this information. You're going to create that one as part of as part of the um, classwork that you're going to be dealing with this within the semester. So this is the form in here. So I created the form, you design the form according to your own choice. Okay, so now let's go back to, okay, where are we now? Okay, enable content. Okay, so, right, so we're back in this stable table structure here. Okay, so let's go back to the design view. Okay, where are we now? Next is a record set is most often displayed as either a form or report. So a form I already showed you, the design form, the form design that I displayed on the screen. It was from the last semester when I taught database programming to my students. to my undergraduate and graduate students. So a form is a major database object used to display information in attractive, easy to read screen format. So your forms can also be used to display, add, edit, or delete record sets. A report is a major database object used to display information in a printable page format. Reports can only display record sets. So now let's work on with the Microsoft Access database. So we are now here. We already created a file name, which is a T stands for table, notice of assessment, and then to current assessor's office. So the first thing that you have to do after creating a file name is to create a field name in here. Now let's say, for example, you are in the SAS source office. So you're going to be making into this as number. Okay, so let's say the number, this one is, let's say is property number, uh, property owner number, the property owner number one, two. So this will be an auto number here, the data type. So the type, this will identify what kind of data are you are using. So the property owner, I am talking about the property owner number one, two, three, four, five, so that I will know I will know how many transactions I process for that particular day. So that's why property owner one, two, three. So it's going to be an auto number. When you click this one, the arrow down, this is a drop down menu in here. So you can choose either it's a short text, auto number, short text, long text, number, large number, date and time, date, blah blah blah, up to the lookup wizard. The auto number is a series of number. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if you're going to choose the short text can be up to, I think it's 265 characters only, which contains your full name. Your full name contains the first name, middle name, and the last name, and it does not it does not consist more than 20 letters. So it's only short text. Unless you're dealing with a long text, so it's long text, the Ascii text. So number, let's say for example, if you're dealing with a telephone number, you can also click the number. Large number also if you're dealing with a large number of data. And we have the date and time. For example, the date of birth. You can also choose the data type as date and time because it displays the date where you were born. Okay, displays the month, the day, and the year. Date and time extended. If you're dealing with amount of money, you can click on the currency. So the currency can be the symbol, or and the currency is according to uh, which country you are in. For example, if you are in the Philippines, it's a peso sign. If you are in the United States of America, it's a dollar sign. Dollar sign. If you are in South Korea, so it's gonna be a Korean won. Okay, sign. So the auto number is the same as the auto number at the first selection of this field. And we have the yes or no. For example, you have your requirements completed. You can yes or no, or you can say married or not married, yes or no. OLA object allows you to attach the link from the outside sources, for example, from Google search or any other outside sources. Also, OLA object. Sorry, OLA object is different. OLA object allows you to insert images. Yeah. Oh yes, OLA object. Okay, so we have the hyperlink is allows you to paste or attach some outside sources links from other outside sources like in Google. Attachment is you can attach the file from your computer. or from others outside sources. Calculated fields is this is where the field you can make some calculations, whether it is a subtraction, addition, multiplication, division, or other calculations. The lookup wizard allows you to have a drop down menu or to have an option or a selection. I will explain that on how to make that one later. Okay, so you have the property owner. We selected that one auto number in here. The next field, okay, so the next field is what we're going to, what do next? Property owner number. Okay, property owner's name. Okay, so property owner's name. So the property owner's name is contains property owner's name contains the full name, first name, middle name, and the last name. Okay, so properties owner's name is we can select the data type as short text because it's only short. It does not reach to 50 characters. So please be reminded that the short text has 255. So you can see the field size in here. Down below, you have this is the limit of the characters under the short text, 255. So the next to property owner's name is you want to collect you want to know the birth date. Okay, so the birth date consists of the day she was born, the month, and the year. Okay, so birth date could be date and time. Okay, so this information are very important. So after the birth date comes the birthplace. Okay, so this information is really very important, especially when you're going to make a database. So the birthplace also, this one is a short text. Birthplace, asa ka tao, nakatawo, natawo. So if you want to put the name of the hospital where you were born or the specific place where you were born, you can also type that one here. After the birthplace, we will use the age. We will put the age in the query in the calculation because I want you to know on how to calculate the age, on how to display the age using a calculated query. Okay, so you can also put that one by using age, and then you'll have this one calculated here. It allows me to have to write the formula here, so you can use a date def. Okay, so date def, or you can write here equal sign, and then we have the open bracket, let's say for example date now. Okay, date now, or minus date if you were date birth date. Okay, so date now, you might want to date now. Okay, date now, and then close bracket, minus sign, and then date of birth, close bracket, and then okay. So the next one, okay, so after the age, what do you want to put on that property owner? Location. So location of the property, address first. Address. So you want to know the address of the property owner. So the address could be a permanent or temporary. So the address, you will put the address as your permanent address because it is very important when you have your property assessed. It has to be in a permanent address. So you have to be the specific owner should be giving the information a specific address. So short text. Your address could be if you're living in Dao Pagadian City. So you have to specify the lot number, the block number if you're living in a subdivision. lot number, and then the street number, and then the number of the building, and then the number of barangay and the particular city that you are in. So it would be easy to locate you. So address, what's next to address? Contact number or civil status. It is very important to uh, know if she is married or not. So, civil status, there are um, we can use the lookup wizard in here. So the lookup wizard in here allows you to have an option, okay, to have a selection, sorry. So this wizards create a lookup field which displays a list of values you can choose from. So how do you want your lookup field to get its values? So you will have to click on I will type in the values that I want. So if you want to type your own values, for example, civil status can be identified into single, married, annulled, or uh, maybe separated or widowed or something like that. Okay, so let's have an option like single. So if you're not married, and then let's say married, and then the next one is annulled, or let's say annulled. Okay, so we have to click the next. After that, you have written your own values. Click the finish. Now it's been set up. Okay, civil status. What's next to civil status? Spouse name. Okay, so if you are married, you can write your spouse name. But if you're single, just put NA. Not applicable. Okay, so for the spouse name, we'll have the short text. The next is your contact number. Okay, so contact number can also be identified in uh, is it a telephone number or a short number or something like that. You can use short text or you can use number. Okay, so short text is okay. So contact number, mobile number, or telephone number is okay. So after the contact number is the email address. Just in case you cannot be contacted using through your contact number that you provided, you can also be contacted through email. So email address. So the email address also can also be short text. Okay, so the next to email address is we will get the information. We already have the location. Okay, so we have the property owner, property's owner's name, birth date, birthplace, age, address, civil status, spouse name, contact number, email address. Okay, uh, that's it. And then we're going to location. Okay, so now we're going to collect the information of the property. Okay, so let's have the property, type of property. Okay, the type of property, could it be residential, commercial, okay, agricultural, or industrial. Okay, so type of property that is being assessed or evaluated. So let's go to lookup wizard. So in the lookup wizard, you will have to type your own values because the values are not being provided yet by the Microsoft Excel. So you have, because you are the one who's making your own database. You have to provide your own values. So click the next. After that, you click your own values. So we're talking about the type of property. So the type of property can either be residential. Okay, so residential. Okay, so next is it could be commercial, or next it could be agricultural. So when we say agricultural, this is the type of property where it's being intended to for the crops, no, for the trees like that. Commercial, agricultural, what else? And industrial. Okay, so industrial. So click the next and then click finish. Okay, now type of property. Okay, the next one is size of the property or area. So we call that one area of property or size of property. I don't know how you name that one or area. Okay, area. So that can be expressed. The area of the property can be expressed into square meters or hectare. Okay, so let's say for example, size or area. This can be number. You can also use the one size property expressed in area or area. Okay. The next one is we have this selection in here is okay. We have the is it a land title or land title number documents presented. We have documents presented documents documentary proof property proof or property documents. Let's go to lookup wizard here. So lookup wizard, I will type your own values. It could be a tax declaration or a land title, certificate of land of title, and or the other one is only tax declaration. So tax declaration only declaration. So we have the next one is finish. Okay. So the next is property documents presented. So if it is only a tax declaration, you have to click on the tax declaration. If it is a certificate of land title, then you click on the certificate of land title. Now after that is property documents. We will identify the TCT tax, the certificate of land title. Uh, what is this? We have the tax declaration number or the area of real property number. Okay, ARP or tax declaration number. So declaration number could either be short text or number. That's already okay. ARP. Okay, so assess real property number. Assess real property number. Or no, it's a land a certificate land title certificate of land title. Okay, so ARP. The next one is we have the property number. So we have the property location. Well, it's location of property. Location of the property. So give the exact information of the property. Street number, street or particular short text. City or town. Okay, so we have a let's say for example location of the property. We have property number being assessed, property number it could be assessed, location, and let's say lot number also. Number is it lot two, block 7. Lot number could either be lot 2 or something like that. So if it is located in a subdivision. So we have the area expressed in square meters. It could either be 149 square meters, like that. Okay, so area could be short text or number. So class is could be RB or residential building. The class could be residential building or what. And then we'll get the market value. So you know already what is a market the market value of a property. So the market value is it is very significant because that is a price of the property uh, that is open market under usual conditions. So it is significant to those who own the property as well as those who must pay the taxes of that property. So taking a property-based deduction requires determining the fair market value. The term is also widely used in the real estate investment market. So you have to know what is the fair market value. So how is the market value computed? So how do you compute the fair market value? Okay. How is it determined, the real estate market value? The value of every good in the market economy is based on the price discovery process. So you know already on how to type the market value. So that is expressed in currency. So choose the currency here. So the next one is we have the assessed value, the assessed value of that property. So that is also expressed in currency. So what is uh how do you assess the how do you get the assessed value of a property? How do you get the assessed value of a property? So because you are all taking up real estate management, you know already how does this value is being determined. So the assessed value is the dollar value assigned to a home or other piece of real property, real estate property tax purposes. So it takes into account the value of comparable properties in that area. Suppose you are in Pagadian City, each of that location has a different assessed value. For example, this is a downtown area. I learned yesterday from someone who bought a lot in front of a in front of Palacio. It used to be she told me that she bought a property for about 150 square meters just in front of Palacio. In 2017, she bought it at 2.5 million. Um, 2.5 million at 15,000 per square meter. So now it's 2022. So I think the assessed value, the market value has maybe rose to a little bit higher, maybe 20,000 per square meter, I guess. So now we're talking about assessed value. So it takes into account the value of comparable properties in that area, among other the factors, the location also, the condition of that property also. In many cases, the assessed value is calculated as a percentage of the fair market value of the property. So you know how to compute this one. So you can make your own assessed value kanang hinimo-himo lang ninyo, from not really the real information from the clients that you have been dealing with, because we're not allowed to put real names in our class. We will only create from our own imagination the names and other information that we can put into our database. So uh, that is how you put the assess value. So the assess value can be given a data type of currency. So that's it. Now we're going to save this one by pressing the Control S, by pressing the combinations of Control S, Control plus S key on your keyboard. So when you press the control C, okay, could not find the field date now. Okay, so let's have this date now. So in this, there is a problem in here. So in an Asian here, let's change this one in short text. We will just make a computation that one in the query, not in the table. So now you can save this one here. Could not find the field. So because if you have any problem with proceeding on how to save that one, you can delete the rows and you can create another one by inserting a field. So you have to position your pointer on the box and then right click to add another, when it's yellow, add, okay, so okay. We can insert. You can insert the row in here, and then put the age, and then you can. Okay, so you can have that short text, and then Control S. Control S. Sorry. Okay, so it's already saved. So when you save that one, make sure that you save every action or changes you have made into your database. Okay, so X is like that. Okay, now we are going to uh, type entries into your database table. Okay, when you click that one, so you are now directed into the database entry mode. So this is the in data entry table. So the data entry table allows you to enter the record. Okay, record. So property owner's name. This one you can expand the size of this by dragging it to the right. Okay, so properties owner name. Let's say, for example, Tom Cruise. Okay, so we're going to use fictitious name. I don't know when Tom Cruise, what is the birth date of Tom Cruise. So let's search in Google, Wikipedia. So Tom Cruise. Okay, so Tom Cruise was born on July 3, 1962. So birth date in here, there is a calendar. There is a small calendar on the next side in here. You click that one, or you can directly type the birth date. The birth date composed of the month, the day, and the year. So let's say, for example, Tom Cruise was born in July 3, 1962. So he's now 59 years old. So by typing that one, July is it June, July is the number seven, and then slash, and then the day he was born, and then he was born in the year 1962. So yeah, it's accepted here. Birthplace maybe New York, I don't know, USA. Okay, so I'm not so sure. Oh, he was born in yes, he was born in United States in New York, USA. So his age is 59, but he looks younger than his age. He doesn't look like his age. It's maybe because of the cosmetic surgery that he has been undergoing. That according to the news, he had like facelift or some reconstructive facial features or something like that because he looks very young at his age, 59. Okay, so the address is, let's say, for example, present address is New York, USA. Let's make a birthplace USA. So his address now is in the Pagadian City. So just like on the applications, information, data from of him. Sorry, the civil status is he is divorced, or let's say we have no selection of divorce in here. So because we are in the Philippines, so we do not use the divorce type of civil status. So we just only use annulled. Spouse name. Let's say for example he's married, and then his spouse name is me. Okay, so Asinat Bishildo. His spouse name. This is only just an application's information of him. This is only for the purpose of making a database entry table. Okay, so contact number is, I'll use my contact number. So you don't have to put a dash in here. It's just all numbers. 938-143-4153. The email address is, let's say, for example, I'll use my own address. Tom Cruise at blah blah blah. Let's say Tom Cruise at yahoo.com. Ay, there's that. At yahoo.com. The next is we're going to have this. Okay, type, what is this? See, this is so if we cannot see type of property is that, so there's a selection. Is this a residential property? And then the size of property is about, let's say, for example, 150 square meters. So, and 3 square meters. Property certificate of title. Your tax declaration number, let's say for 3153. Location is Pagadian City. So you have to specify which barangay it is located. So Pagadian City. So the barangay, one of the barangays in Pagadian City. So this is property number. Here is let's say we'll put this one number 3. Lot number is, let's say, lot 2. Okay, block 7. So I'm using my own information of the house that I'm staying in. Block 7. The area is 150 square meters. It is the same as the size of a property square meters. And then we have the class is residential building RB. Okay, the fair market value. I have to set this one into Philippine peso. I bought this Philippine peso sign because my husband gifted me this laptop, and it was bought in United States of America before our wedding day. So it is set to dollar. So I'm just going to change this one. So the market value, let us say, for example, 250, let's say 201,018. Let's say 201,018 for the market value of one of my properties. We have 201,018. Let's say 201,018. 201,000.79. Okay, 201 018.79. I divide 50 into dollars, so that's going to be like 4,000 $4,000. Kay 200 man siya. So ako lang butang siya for $4,000. 4,020. Ang market value is 201,100.79 sa akong 75. Ako lang kuno din 75 square meters maliit pikas ka property di ay. So Tom Cruise is using the information of my property in Tugas, not in Dao. Okay, so just for example, only 75 square meters. So muna yung market value. So diri is ang area na to. Let us change this one into 75 square meters, and this is a residential building. So the market value is $4,000. That is equivalent to Philippine peso 201 thousand 218,000 point 79. Okay, so 201,018 pesos point 79. So the assessed value, that is 20,101.88, you divide that by 50 at the rate of $1 is equal to 50 in peso. So let's hold on. 2101.88 divided by 50. So that's going to be what is it? Okay, 20,000. So 2101.88 divided by 50, that is $402. So this is expressed in dollar 42, 402, sorry. So pag 402 ganun na siya, ibig sabihin, uh, kuha na siya, $20,000 na siya. 8 times ano mo siya, 50. So I already completed that one. I already have a table with one record. That is only a record of Tangko. So that is how to make a table with record. So you can also make some more. You can add another record of Brad Pitt, Angelina, like that. Okay, so that's all for now on how to make a table. So because of the complexity of a database, Access limits certain file operations that are available for other applications only, such as Word or Excel. Access does not have the save as file. As you can see in here, we don't have, here is the save as file. Okay, so let's say the save as file in here. Okay, save database as. Okay, so we have this one. We don't have the save as file command in this side in here. Okay, when a database is open, you cannot move or rename the file. Okay, therefore, before you begin working with a database, you must place the file in a suitable storage location. The storage medium in which the database file is located, such as a USB or a flash drive. I think each of you has already a USB flash drive, must provide enough space to allow the database to grow. Okay, so if your database only has a 2 gigabyte, kailangan na siyang palit mo dako-dako nga kuan kanang storage location. And you must have rights to modify the file in that location. Some storage location at your school or sa imong database do not allow an average user to modify the files. So this location can only be fully used by a person with administrative rights. If you are dealing a database, a large database in a school, pero kana lang database nga ordinary nga gagmay lang sulod, pwede rin na sa inyo inyong mga USB drives. So the next lecture will be about how to manage a database. Okay, so now you have created a table. So that is how to make a table. Please refer also to the module that I posted in in our classroom for you to be able to be guided on how to make a table. Okay, so the next video record will be all about on how to make a query, report, form, and report. So that's all for now for this video recording. And I say thank you and hope to see you next week for the next class. Bye bye.